Well, I think champions persevere, and you don't win all your games, but you still stay in the game and you keep struggling and fighting, and I think that's what Ann does.
She wants everybody to be treated equally and with equity, and that's something that I think her parents instilled in her.
One thing that my grandmother has always told my cousins and me is that she fights and does what she does so that we can have a better life and grow up in a place that is different in the better way than the way that she grew up.
My mother was in her day, I guess she would have been considered an activist. She exposed me to a lot of things, and I think she and my father both were fair people. As you kind of go through life, you see that there's a lot of unfairness, a lot of injustice.
One memory that I have with her is going to Raleigh on a bus in 7th grade to march for the Equal Rights Amendment. And I remember going back to school after that weekend and somebody asked me what I had done, and they laughed at me for having done that. And Mother was like, well, don't let them laugh at you, just keep on fighting.
When I first came to Sanford, there was an organization, the League of Women Voters here. And I had limited time with my babies and with, getting established in town, and I thought if there's one thing that I could get involved in, that would be it, because I admired what the League did. Then Common Cause came about because I read about a lot of talk about the proposed nuclear freeze, and that was something I believed in.
She went to a meeting in Chapel Hill, and they were glad to get somebody from Sanford, from a more rural area, to be involved in Common Cause, and they invited her to participate on the board, and I don't think she looked back. I think she just kept it going.
It was a chance to advocate for them. I strongly believed in holding government accountable, freedom, justice, all the values that all of us believe in. One of the issues that we fought so hard for was getting money out of politics. When Common Cause worked so hard to get public campaign financing, and we got it, for the judges, we got it for certain members of the Council of State, that was such a high point. That was victory that we had worked on for so long. I was with a group just a couple weeks ago, and I was with a retired judge, and I just overheard her say, I never could have been a judge if there had not been that public financing of the campaigns for judges.
Ann McCracken was on the board when I joined the board in 1995, so we served together for quite a few years until she retired last year. And several of those years she was the chair, and I really liked her leadership style because, one, Ann always knew about the political climate in North Carolina and knew the issues that were important to Common Cause. And then secondly, I describe her leadership as friendly but firm. So when there was an issue that we needed to deal with, she dealt with us in a friendly manner, but it was a firm decision that she made. I've enjoyed working with her over the years, and I've also appreciated the fact that she and Webb were major financial supporters of Common Cause North Carolina.
The first thing that comes to mind is Ann being kind enough to keep me on as her first vice when she was chair of our party. She was one of the most wonderful people that you could ever work with in politics. She was kind, she was considerate, she listened, was always patient, had some pretty tough races she had to deal with. That was after a little change in things in the county, and Ann worked her behind off to get things to where she thought they needed to be. And then whenever I had the opportunity to be appointed to this position, I could not have asked for anybody, family, friend, or loved one to be more supportive than Ann. Ann was there for every last step of my appointment, every last step of my first election, and has been there ever since. I love her. I think she's one of the most wonderful people. You guys, I know we're going to miss her. I miss her, and I just wish her all the best.
Let me say thank you to Common Cause, and what a joy it has been to serve with the present people on the board and with all those who've gone before. It was a struggle to give up being on the board because of all the people. I always come away, even though we have a lot to contend with and a lot of setbacks along the way, I always felt energized when I left. That, all right, we can do this. There are things we can do that will make things better.